I'm hoping that I am able to live up to all the practice that I have been put through. This is my hello and welcome, dear friends. Namaste. My name is Ganesh, and I want to welcome you to this AHA conversation with Dr. Newton Kondaveti. I have to introduce myself, and then I have to introduce Dr. Newton, and I have to do a good job. I have been trained to prepare for today, but we are the world is full of uncertainties, so I'm hoping that I'm able to live up to all the practice that I have been put through. This is my first interview that I am doing, so please forgive me for any hiccups here and there. Hopefully all our friends can hear us well, and they can see us and hear us well. I would like to share with you that my introduction is very simple. My life has two parts. It is called BN and AN. So if you have heard of BC and AD, like that, my life has BN and AN. Before Newton, after Newton. So I will tell you the story of before Newton. Before Newton, in 2006, my wife, who also taught me meditation and was my guide throughout since 2003, although I listened with great difficulty to my wife and always delayed taking action on her recommendations. But she told me to meditate in 2006. I started to meditate in 2006. But then, I found that this spirituality and meditation, I cannot do as a professional. I will do it properly little later. Right now, I have to focus on working hard. Being an entrepreneur, I was a teacher and an entrepreneur. So I have to work hard. And once I work hard enough, then I will give up everything and I will only pursue spirituality and meditation. So I decided in 2006, I started to meditate a little bit. But then till 2013, I actually announced retirement, and I said I'm retiring from all entrepreneurial activities and all teaching work. And then I will only pursue meditation, and I want to find peace. Then what happened is, on the day of my retirement, I was with Dr. Newton. So the moment I met him, of course, I was deeply in love. It was love at first sight. And most importantly, that was the period that was AN, after Newton, where he said, this retirement is not the middle path is the key for you. Each one of us has to choose the middle path. And so I went from trying to change my outside, which was before Dr. Newton, where I was trying to fix everything on the outside, to post November 2013, where everything Dr. Newton pointed was inside us. So the heaven and the hell, everything was inside, the magic was inside. And so since that point, I have been the recipient of some of the best moments of my life. I wish I had found Dr. Newton 30 years earlier, but I found him in 2013, and it completely changed my life. I am not retired anymore. I work as well as meditate. But every situation I have to work on the inside. That is the teaching that we have received. And the reason why today is so special for us is there is no greater entrepreneur and no greater teacher that I have met other than Dr. Newton. I will tell you why. He took the biggest risk during the era that he went to medical college and he did his MBBS and MD. All were going after minting money in the medical profession. Dr. Newton was the risk-taking revolutionary, and the entrepreneur always takes risk. The business people always take risk. He took the risk, and he said, these body doctors are enough. I want to pursue the career of a soul doctor. He decided to transform, not through injection, not through surgery, but through inner surgery. And I am the recipient of 6-7 years of continuous inner surgery, where I feel so much peace, so much abundance. Fortunately, he has not used any needles on me, any hammer or some of those instruments that are there. And then, of course, Dr. Newton is also a master teacher, but also an amazing student. And I think that is why this is so beautiful, this session for all the educators, because even as he teaches tens of thousands of people, even as he reaches 120 plus countries with his teachings, travels all around. As the founder of QLU, Dr. Newton has a huge 150-acre campus on which Quantum Life University has been established on the outskirts of Hyderabad in Vikarabad. Through all of this, his work has reached 50 villages already. 150 villages have to be reached. There are 14 batches of the Soul Coach training program that have been completed, complete free education for inner transformation that is available to anyone, anywhere on the planet who would like it. But while he does all this as the founder of a great institution and as a teacher, he remains one of the best students I have met in my life as a teacher. He is the most humble student of every situation. He learns from the trees, from the dolphins, from the chairs, from the tables. And so therefore, friends, today is such a special day for us, because I found the person whose finger I am holding and walking this path. And I think all of us, through the wisdom today, are going to be enriched. I can tell you a lot of magic has happened in my life in the last 7 years. For some of us who know about the IC3 movement that has been created, a lot of abundance has flowed, a lot of joy has flowed, a lot of peace has come in my life. And the effort of this AHA conversation was really to give you a taste of this peace, the taste of this joy, a taste of this flavor. And while we are all dealing with all the challenges of this era, whether you are an educator, you are a professional, you are an entrepreneur, or you are just a normal human being on the planet, I am sure that we will all enjoy listening to Dr. Newton. So welcome, Dr. Newton. Thank you very much for joining us. And
it's wonderful to hear about myself, but I can tell you that for my life also transformed when I met you. Before meeting Ganesh and after meeting Ganesh, you brought certain things into my life. Certain things, certain ways you touched my heart and soul. Thank you, Ganesh, for inviting me onto this platform, AHA organization. This AHA conversation, definitely today I'm very excited to have a conversation with you.
Thank you. So I am going to get straight into our questions, and I'm also inviting the audience here to post their questions. We'll try and take some of the questions. We will try to give Dr. Newton as many questions as possible, depending on what we can cover. But so one of the first lessons that you shared, which I learned, was you said we create our own reality, and it was very hard for me to digest. And I think for all of us today, eventually I learned that we create our own reality, and I learned it with a lot of practice. But can you tell us today, how can we create a different reality? The reality was created by COVID. And is it possible to be creative in this period? Even to create a reality, we have to be creative. This is a period of survival. Can we be creative? Is it possible to feel differently from how everybody else is feeling today? Feel abundant instead of feeling lack. Feel love instead of feeling scared. So, how can we create our reality, sir, in this period?
Yes, Ganesh. Everyone are really affected different ways, directly and indirectly, with COVID-19. Indirectly by staying at home, not able to go and play and have fun. But we are having fun with our family, fun with our own selves, staying at home, a different fun altogether. But we are affected. We must agree to that. In this case, we can't say that we created this reality also, because it's like as if it's imposed on everyone collectively on our globe, it's on global platform or in every country, and no one is willing to actually go through this kind of isolation period, quarantine period. It's like many, they rebelled initially. There was a rebellious nature that was coming out. Many people, they do not like it. They did not like it. They want to go out. They want to break the rules. And but instead, in spite of that, still we stayed inside the homes. Why did we at all create this kind of reality? If at all, the truth is we create our own reality. We must know this, that even this reality also a co-created reality. We all have created collectively. Though we are not going to agree to this. We don't agree that I participated in this thinking process and generated certain thoughts to deliberately create this reality. We unconsciously created this reality. Maybe it's needed at this point of time for the entire humanity to have the reset programming of us to be totally reset. We need to have this kind of jolt. Maybe we created this reality also. If we look at from a different perspective, definitely we understand this principle that it is very true. What we can do at this point of time is understand that survival versus creativity. Our survival fears have completely sabotaging our creativity. But those who are even wise beings, who are aware beings, can at this point of time, in this period of time, where there's so much of chaos around the globe, they can turn this survival fear into creativity. They can see many other possibilities that starts we can look at them, because our survival fear is actually blinding us. We are actually blinded with the survival fear. Oh, what's going to happen next? Tomorrow, what's going to happen? Is this COVID-19 is going to kill everyone on this planet Earth? Is this going to make us to be quarantined forever? We're going to stay at home for at least for next 6 months or 1 year? We do not know. We are worrying too much. But there are different kinds of people who are like meditators, who are little bit risk-taking, adventurous, daredevils, dashing, and those people, they are able to tap into their creativity. So this fear, I say this, I somewhere read about this definition of this fear. Truly, the fear is feeling excited and ready. Feeling really excited. This is abbreviation, acronym. Feeling excited and ready. for new things. This particular situation is making us completely pause everything. We could not go to schools, we could not go to our workplaces, we could not do anything except staying at home. So even this time, we have new doors are opening. The fear is nothing but it is a teacher which is making us learn that. It's making us feel excited and get ready for new things that's going to come into our lives. It's opening new doors. And also another definition I can say to the fear is like generally fear is like adrenaline surge. Immediately our sympathetic nervous system is driving us, and these chemicals make us going through stress reaction, and completely we are right now going through that phase. But we don't need to, because there is a reason why this is happening at this point of time. And fear is also false evidence appearing real. This is what when I read a book by Neil Donald Walsh, he mentioned it in one of the books, Communion with God. Such a great book. He talks
false
about
evidence appearing real.
False
evidence
appearing real. So then we know that what we are seeing right now is only a limited version of the reality, not the entire truth. We do not know. We interpret through our mind this COVID-19 is like a disaster, a calamity, a catastrophe, a destruction. But those are different people who are very aware, who are wise, who opened their complete faculties of awareness. They could see a big opening there, big possibilities opening up. The entire humanity is waking up now. It could be a great awakening factor, where we are now opening our hearts, opening our consciousness to understand what's going on in our lives. It's really a kind of great opportunity. We can take it in that sense. In that way, we can actually access our creativity. So survival versus creativity is the first thing that we need to think about. The second thing I want to mention about at this point of time is the victim versus victor. Either we will be a victim of this COVID-19, or we can be a victor. We go through this, we face this situation, but we come out of it victoriously. When we are a victim, we keep blaming the COVID-19. We keep blaming everyone. But we know that blame game, really, it takes away the entire power of us, energy of us. We can instead take responsibility now to shape up our lives. This is the second thing that I want to mention. And the third thing is insufficiency and lack. Right now, everyone is going through a kind of lack situation, scarcity. Even many countries, there is an economy which is now collapsing. Economy which is in big way got affected. And even individual level, personal level, many people, because they are not doing any job. So jobless, almost like many people, they are fired, they are taken off from the organizations that they could not anymore give the salaries. Definitely, it made them to feel the lack, insufficiency and the lack. And though the lack appears to be very real, but it is, we can create a different reality. Maybe this lack condition, it's a very contextual and very relative kind of condition we are going through right now, but it is showing us how abundant we are inside us, because we had never had an opportunity to look into our own selves. We have now abundance of time, abundance of peace, abundance of, happiness, joy that you're getting from spending time with your family members. There's so much of abundance right this moment, not doing anything, but still you are experiencing that great abundance. So if we can tune into that instead of lack, like we say in psychology, that don't look at the half-filled glass, the water which fill the glass only halfway, but it's the half-full glass of water. So the way we look at things, instead of lack, we can see what is right that happened right now. What is good that happened to me? What is that most beautiful positive element that I'm experiencing right now? That way we change our vibrational frequency. Otherwise, lack perpetuates lack. The moment this lack consciousness, scarcity consciousness enters into our mind, it is like a big, more than COVID-19 is deadly virus. It affects every other thought. It affects the whole mind. It immediately makes us really not cherish, not enjoy mangoes. Right now, summer is the mango. We don't feel the abundance of the joy of eating mango. In this very present moment itself, such a joy that is existing. We miss that. And this is the third one that I want to mention. The fourth one is the illusion versus the truth. We believed in many illusions. Any lie that we tell to ourselves is an illusion. We started believing in many illusions. Like one is insufficiency is also an illusion. Because only relative truth, it's not the old truth, complete truth. So we need to look at our limited thoughts and beliefs and know that it's all, you're hanging on to them. You're clinging to those limited beliefs and thoughts. And those thoughts are creating our reality. Whatever illusions we are clinging to, the illusion that I'm not enough, illusion that there is not enough for everyone, there's insufficiency, lack conditions exist in the world. That limited thought, it really creates limited reality. So the truth always sets us free. It liberates us. The truth that, yes, there is abundance right now in this moment. I have abundance of consciousness that I can experience. In this very moment, there is no earthquake. I'm safe. Abundance of safety I'm feeling. My this chair is not shaking. I'm not collapsing. My building is not collapsing. Right now, the Mother Earth is supporting me. I can breathe right now. It's wonderful. Abundance of energy flowing through my breath. So this is the very moment the truth is evident. It can be felt and experienced. Whoever are very aware in this very moment, they can really notice that truth that exists. Truth is that you're already safe in this universe. Even though you may die, but still you're safe. Because with the death, our life is not ending. Death is only just a short interval, a kind of transition. So death, illness, fear, relative conditions here, it's all, not going to stop our life. Our life can continue. Even though we have these kinds of limiting conditions, this is relativity. But relativity should not affect us. Spirituality enhances, broadens the horizons, the mind. It stretches us beyond these conventional levels to understand that we are such wonderful, magnificent beings. So this is the fourth thing that I want to say, that we create truly our reality. We need to change something, the way we look at things, and also the way we are also operating in this world. And another fifth principle I want to say is about doing versus being. We have been programmed to do things, doing, more on action oriented. Okay, and being is missing right now. The being state everyone is experiencing, staying at home, they're forced to just be still, be at one place. Don't go out, don't do your job, don't go out, don't walk, don't run, don't do sports. You just be at home. This beingness is the key actually in the creation process. So doing and being, they must support each other. After you understand your beingness, from that beingness means your vast consciousness which is unlimited in you, vast energy that is existing in you, that only in the present moment when we are quiet and still, we realize it. Otherwise, we are in the very superficial, outside levels, peripheral levels. That makes us only do things. So there's one principle that I learned from this book by Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God, is BDH principle versus HDB principle. I tell you what it is. Okay, HDB means generally that's what is our paradigm in all the organizations, companies, all the professionals. HDB, I need to have, then I do, and then I will be happy. So the entire corporate world or companies or everyone is looking for this being happy, being content, being prosperous, being, they want, that's the outcome. Okay, everyone is expecting that. For that, they think that I need to have enough of resources. I need to have first everything. Like, for example, enough for human resources, even enough of money to start my project. Okay, and then I'm going to act something from that place. I'll be doing something, and then I'll be having, happiness, joy, peace, everything that we want to achieve. So this is generally our old paradigm. But this is the time COVID-19 is shaking up everyone to turn it around. Now be, do, and have, BDH. From the being state, the action must arise from inaction. Your movement must arise from stillness. So then this being and doing will be really like a dance between these two states. Constantly you also reach to your inner stillness, and then from that place of stillness, there's a movement, there's action. You will really, in the right way, right direction, there's a movement that happens. And then you will have it. Whatever your desired goal, whatever sankalpa, the intent that you made, it manifests. This really I liked when I read the book Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. I have been applying it, Ganesh, and I really like this principle. I really love it. And that's why this is like a middle path, not only doing, but also being. Doing and being, generally people have a conflict. They are at the cusp, and between, in the middle, they're crushed because there's a conflict. They have a kind of confusion. Do I have to act and do, and do I have to be and be only being? Both are important. You want to say something, right? Yeah.
Sir, I think it's so beautiful what you shared, because in an organizational setup, people are constantly being judged on how much they are doing. Can you do more work? Can you work those extra hours? And in our organization, we are constantly looking at who are you being? Are you being compassionate? Are you being empathetic? Are you being mindful? Are you being conscious of what is happening? So some of the points you brought forth, these 5 points, are so beautiful. The redefining fear. is what we have learned from what you have shared. We also learned about you can choose to be a victim or choose to be a victor. It's so beautiful what you explained. And then the fact that there is so much abundance, an abundance of oxygen to inhale, an abundance of love from our family members, an abundance of time to work on our own selves. And that's so beautiful. Even in this moment, we could look at the glass as half empty or as half full. And then so beautifully you have shared about illusion and truth. Is it, what is the truth? And so that is beautiful. And of course, this principle from Neil Donald Walsh towards the end. So thank you for sharing that perspective. I think that should put a lot of our friends within organizations feeling that there is hope here. There is this whole feeling of, of not having hope, or it's too unsafe. Actually, there is, from what you have shared, there is so much to look forward to. There is an opportunity, like you shared, to have a completely different reality in this situation. With that said, if you allow me, I will go to our next question.
Sure.
Some of the essential practices, if you can talk about, what are some of those 3 or 4 practices that we can have? Every time I watch the news, I also get affected. Oh, Mumbai is it's coming, and the corona is coming like chasing, like picha karo, and every time you call someone, they'll say, "Oh, Ganesh, you are okay. Mumbai is very bad." It's almost like they're shocked to see you alive sometimes, the way people respond, because Mumbai is so like that. I think we need some essential practices. And if you can share some essential practices, also, so if you can share, how can we make some of these difficult decisions? As entrepreneurs, there are some very difficult decisions, even to cut salaries. There are moments where school managements are having to make hard decisions. Some of those bus drivers, some of those support staff, they are not retaining or are not able to. So what is the guidance that you would have on essential practices and how we respond to some of these challenges, the economic challenges that are coming our way?
Yes, Ganesh. Essential practices, number 1, I can say, is acceptance of whatever is the situation right now, because we can't ignore it. The pain is there, the fear is there, and certain difficulties, challenges are faced by many people. We need to totally embrace that situation. Don't ignore it, and we don't need to mask all these things, pretending that, oh, there is no problem. There is a problem, definitely. We need to completely accept, including the problem which is touching us and creating fear in us, fear reaction in us. Face that fear, embrace that fear, accept that as it is, and that fear opens a new door. It opens a new, consciousness in you. That is, fear always awakens us to the strength that is residing in all of us. When we really face the fear, we need to really face this fear. This is the very essential, though it is really challenging, but those who are right now participating, listening to this program, dear friends, definitely, this is the very first thing that we need to do. Don't run away, don't hide, don't avoid this fear, don't avoid anything. Let us face it, because we need to have a certain courage to face it. Definitely, it's not easy, but muster the courage. By avoiding that fear, still it is going to affect you. It's better that we face it. We may put the complete blanket on the face and try to sleep, but when you wake up again, that fear comes back to you. Instead, better we face it. Let us one day, for a few hours, sit with the fear, have a dialogue with the fear, and let the fear teach you a strength. Actually, fear is a great teacher. So this is the first thing that I recommend as an essential practice: acceptance, acceptance, and acceptance, whatever is. And from that level of acceptance, there's great healing that happens. Healing of the fear, healing of certain emotions that's coming up, and it is going to bring you the potential out also. The second thing is meditation practice. Practice slowing down in your thoughts. Anapanasati meditation is most simplest practice. Buddha recommended this practice, and Buddha actually offered this to the whole world. So right now, this watching the breath, this Anapanasati meditation, so useful. Everyone on the planet Earth is going to benefit them. The third important thing is gratitude. I say, even though we are going through a tough turmoils and difficult situation, gratitude. You can be grateful for certain things. Before you slip into sleep, think about what is right, what is good, what is today the best thing that happened. Maybe it is the smile that you received from someone. Maybe through a phone call that you had a conversation which really helped you. You have full of gratitude, and you're grateful for that. Even small things. Grateful for your mother, father, your brother, sister, many, your wife, husband. Many things we can be grateful for, because abundance consciousness is created in us through gratitude. When we can recognize in this moment that what is really right in this moment, you find so many things. So far we have this lens of perception. We are wearing that lens, the glass of scarcity. We need to change the looking glasses. Now change the glass. This is abundance glass. We can see differently now. A new set of glasses, abundance glass. We see full of gratitude. Be so grateful. When we are really grateful, we can do seva also. We think, oh, I lack things and I can't. We can smile. The service can be smile service. We think that, service only I can do only with money. No need. Even words that you utter, if you can uplift the spirit of another human being, that's a service. Any kind of service without an expectation. That's the key principle of what is called creating abundance. Right now, everyone who is affected, we can practice gratitude. We say it's the right attitude to create abundance. And it's a fertile ground to create prosperity and abundance, the gratitude, gratefulness. And the next thing that I want to say is mindfulness. Because when you are meditating, you are mindless. Your mind is dropped, mind is dissolving, mindless and mindful. You have to live mindfully. These two practices, mindlessness and mindfulness, these two things we must practice. So these are the times really these tools can help us.
Yeah, beautiful, sir. Thank you. So 4 essential practices. First one is acceptance. Very beautifully you have explained. Meditation. Today we will practice. Sir, if you allow us, today we will do some meditation towards the end. And all of our friends who are joining can meditate with Dr. Newton. It's a blissful experience. And then the third one is the attitude of gratitude. Thankful for everything that is. And just before going to bed, thinking about what are the things that we can be grateful for today. And that's beautiful. And then the fourth one you mentioned is mindfulness. And I just wanted to share a very beautiful example from my life on what you have shared, and how even in BN, where I was, before Newton era, I was completely not exposed to these principles, but every time I practice it, and I now on hindsight, it is evident that they were so powerful. And my father was admitted after cancer surgery in hospital and was on a ventilator for 4 months. And we were constantly in hospital, and I was spending most nights awake and working during the day. And during that period, it felt like worse than Corona or any other crisis. And one of my friends recommended on a piece of paper, every day I used to write all that I have and practice gratitude for what I have. And at that time, the things I was writing, because I had no money, no other, I was going by the buses and walking long distances, etc. So I used to write, I have hands, I have legs, I have eyes, I have teeth, I can chew. So, everything, there is so much to be thankful for, even in the darkest of the periods of our lives. So that's such a powerful message, sir. Thank you for sharing that. And so much to be grateful for. For all of us, your students, every day we have to just think about you, and we feel that's a lot for us.
It's really wonderful to hear about your experience in your life, how you practice this gratitude. Thank you for sharing.
This was 13 years before Newton. And so every era I am sharing, even at that time, it worked beautifully because I was going to the office with so much energy and so much, I was able to do so much more just by thinking about all these simple little things.
Right.
So that brings me to the next question, which was, again, conflict. As an entrepreneur, I always felt that the physical and the business world is different from this world of peace and meditation. How can you make your employees so peaceful that they are not aspirational? And we should all be under stress, and we have to go for it. And that spirituality and this business world, they cannot intersect. And of course, and after Newton, I realized this is a completely different reality. But we would like to hear from you. I realized that post meeting you, that the more I felt peaceful inside, the more abundance. And today we have one of the happiest organizations. I can tell you, many of our people may be watching this and are around the world. We are such a happy group of people together. Yes, there are pressures of work, but I always felt that the business world and this spiritual, peaceful meditation world, there is no meeting, that we have to do one or the other. So, sir, can you tell us a little bit more on how these two worlds are intersecting and how we can actually manifest in whatever we want in our lives in both areas, and that there is no conflict or contradiction between the two?
Yes, Ganesh. Business world and spiritual world are not different. Initially, they look differently. Physical world is different, spiritual world is different. It's like I heard from one Zen saying, Zen master's wisdom. They speak so beautiful insights they offer, but they're very profound. Like one insight I really liked it is, mountains are mountains, rivers are rivers. And in the second stage, when you're looking at the mountains, I see now the mountains are not mountains, rivers are not rivers. This is the second stage. The third stage, the disciple or the student sees the mountains are again mountains, rivers are again rivers. So this is the growth that happens in everyone. So before we stepped into this path of awareness, path of meditation, or any kind of spiritual discipline, we think that the physical world is different and spiritual world is different. Physical world is physical world, spiritual world is spiritual world, business world is business is business, and spirituality is spirituality. Both cannot meet at any place, any point. Okay, but the second stage is totally different. So businesses are not businesses, and spirituality is not spirituality. Mountains are not mountains, rivers are not rivers. Because mountains and rivers, at the fundamental basic level, they are the elements of nature. Essentially, they're all connected. Without a mountain, there is no river, existence of the river. Even the river contributes to creation of the mountain also. If you look deeply, intricately, then we understand that all things are essentially connected to some basic fundamental essence called consciousness. Okay, so even a business model is developed from the same essence. And one spiritual organization or spiritual ashram, or could be any kind of project, maybe it is NGO, or any could be a non-profit organization. Everything is stemming from the same essence. That's why this is so essential to heal this kind of inner conflict of thought that spirituality and business are different. At this point of time, this is so essential to know that all the entrepreneurs, corporates, and professionals, everyone must completely embrace their businesses as spiritual. They are also very spiritual, because every business is developed to serve life in a certain way. There is a unique energy signature for every business model, every organization which is birthed into the existence. It has come to serve. But mostly our paradigm is little bit different. The old paradigm is it's all completely fear-based. Fear is that, oh, if I am not doing good business now, others, the competitors will take over. So I must compete. I must beat them. I must, smash them. I must eliminate the other company. This is, we are driven with the fear and competitive, like a competitiveness, which is like a violent competitiveness. So much violence we can see, aggressiveness, aggressive. And many businesses, this paradigm need to be altered, changed right now. The businesses can thrive when they can understand service is more important than whatever the outcomes they are looking for. This is what Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talked about exactly. You do your karma, whatever that you need to do it without any kind of expectation what would be the outcome, future, whether this business will be really bringing me profit or not. When you really do it without any kind of attachment clinging to the outcomes, you give your best. Your focus is on service, whether it is a product, whether it is some kind of service, counseling, teaching, or could be anything, any kind of service. Whatever that you do through that business organization, you're serving certain ways. So that service must be our primary motive. And such businesses really grow and flourish. And COVID-19 is showing us the way right now. It's shaking us all. Many companies now, they have to close down because they could not, build their entire model on a fear-based platform. With the fear, they could not see new opportunities. The businesses can actually, the new possibilities exist around us. If you are in the stillness, in the deeper intelligence of you can show us the way. It shows the opportunities right now. So this is what I feel, Ganesh. And also many people right now, the decision making is the biggest problem. Okay, they are unable to decide about certain things. Certain decisions need to be taken, and they are really suffering because they're unable to take decision right now. But these practices like stillness and mindfulness, awareness, these practices definitely makes you illuminate your mind, gain clarity in your mind. Once you gain clarity in your mind, you can trust your heart and your intuition. From that place, you can decide. Your higher intellect will be awakened. First is awakening the heart, and then your higher intellect. We call it in Sanskrit buddhi. Buddhi is the decision maker. We should never take a decision from our only the lower mind. Buddhi is called higher mind. It's called higher intellect. That actually can see the big picture. So in the decision making process for any organization or at an individual level, always we must know that it's a prayo, not prayo mark, but shreyo mark. This is in one Upanishad. This what is the beautiful knowledge was shared by the rishis. Prayas and shreyas, there are two words. Prayo marg, shreyo marg. Prayo marg means what you like from your mind. Your mind likes so many things. Now we are living in a instant gratification world. I want a pizza, I need it now. Whoever gets from Domino's pizza now at this moment, vegetarian with capsicum and what is that, alpinos. I vote for, I rate five-star rating I will give to that pizza. We are living such a instant gratification. We can't wait even next moment. So prayo marg is always what you like. We might like many things, but what you like may not be helping collectively the humanity. For example, you want to live in a forest. For that, you have completely cut down all the trees and completely destroyed the so many things there. Almost 100 acres of land of nature you destroyed to build your building. So it is a prayo mark. It's not shreyo mark. Shreyo mark is called path of welfare of entire community. Is this decision that I'm taking is going to help along with me the world around me, the people around me? Am I going against the nature? Am I also being useful and helpful for the community and world around me? For example, Prayo Marg may say, I need $1 billion now. I will build this factory. The factory may be releasing all the poisonous gases. Many people will be losing lives. And actually in Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh, there was a big disaster happened. There's a gas leakage from one company, one factory, and almost many animals died. Many animals died. Even humans died. And in the middle of the night, there was a leakage of this poisonous gas. It's like Bhopal gas tragedy. In similar kind of tragedy that happened in Vizag a few months back. And really, we must think about it. When we are, any decision that we're taking, is this decision that I'm taking, is it Prayo Marg or Shreyo Marg? Is it going to serve a greater purpose? Is it aligned with the nature? We should never go against the nature. And nature will not support such businesses. In the long run, it collapses. In the short while, maybe a meat industry, poultry, So this is what decision making process, Ganesh. Right now we can think in those lines. I think this is what I might be wrong, but this is what I am sharing.
Beautiful, actually. So I think so many times, even today, as some critical decisions have to be made, that decision could be made of, around staff members. That decision could be made uh, keeping the greater good of everybody in mind, or keeping just the economics in mind. And like you said, it's very beautiful. It's very easy to make a decision which will serve everyone, and which will so this is very helpful, sir. Thank you. I want to move to the next line of questions. For all of us are in teachers and students in some way, but I had some questions for you on for our educator friends, people who guide other individuals, students, or parents, and even helping each other. I think all of your wisdom, sir, is relevant for all of us. Doesn't matter, professionals, entrepreneurs, educators. But my specific question was, many teachers today, many schools are having to cope with reinventing themselves to teach online, without that personal connection with their students in class. You are also having to teach online. Your work is so profoundly about energy and being together in a gathering. What are your recommendations for these teachers? What should they be doing to effectively deliver their lessons, those learning outcomes? And teachers and their students also, how can teachers become fully present and touch the lives of their students in this remote learning environment? How can they be fully present with the students?
Yes, Ganesh, it's a kind of a situation on the planet Earth right now. It's making us learn new ways of operating in this world. Like all the teachers right now, they need to serve this world. Even though there is a limitation, they can't meet the students. Students can't come to the classrooms. They can't meet at one place. But this internet technology is helping us. We need to completely invite. We need to educate ourselves. This is a kind of new skill. Few skills are so important for every human being, like how to prepare, how to cook food, at least rice, chapati, curry, and sabji, and small thing, rasam, sambar, my favorite. I know how to prepare. Wherever I go, I can prepare it. So the second important skill right now on the planet Earth is to internet technology. Everyone, even a rural community, villager, must be educated about internet technology. Then this situation, still we don't need to have physical meeting, physical interactions, the teachers and students, because maybe there is a change of paradigm. We need to think ourselves as energy beings, not physical beings. Maybe still this technology is helping us connect energetically more, I think, sensitive ways, opening our hearts and giving all the attention to the teacher when a student is going through the virtual classroom and interaction through the internet class. They must give all the attention to the teacher, listen carefully, observe everything, and we need to completely reinvent new ways. And second is, maybe there are going to be new innovations will be there in the quite some future, in little in the future, definitely, because already this has been attempted. Like in virtual classrooms, it may be possible that even a teacher can project holographically, like laser beam technology. Even the softwares can be developed in the classroom. Maybe even the students also will be projected. The image of the student will be absorbed, and the software will create a 3D picture of the student sitting in the classroom, and the teacher also, the real picture of the image of the teacher in three-dimensional way will be also there. They will have an interaction. It's more alive. They will have a very real time experience. But we are right now experimenting on the planet Earth, but it is really successful also. I can say that because I never attempted to teach online, but first time, the COVID-19, I felt so happy that I don't need to now travel to US, Holland to teach. Almost it takes so many hours to journey, but now I can stay just one place and teach. So maybe this situation is making us learning new skills, new ways of looking at things. Definitely it is not a limitation. Actually, it is opening new potentials in us, Ganesh.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, sir. I'm, the two words I caught on was listening and observing has become even more important. The presence has become very important as we are delivering. I want to have one more question, and then there are quite a few from the audience that I'd want to take. But you have been both a master teacher and an eternal student. That's something that we have figured out, that you are an eternal student, always a learner. And you have attended sessions with your students also. And can you share some of your experience on the art of teaching and the art of learning? Some guidance on what is this art of teaching and what is the art of learning that we can all take away with us.
Yes, Ganesh. I am more primarily an eternal student, more than a teacher, I am a student. And I always, even in the classroom, more than I teach, I always learn from everyone's experience. Only in certain that role of a teacher, so that I can channel everyone's energy there, and I can facilitate the session. For that, I take that role temporarily, but I am always a student, because in India we say that Vidya Dadhati Vinayam. This is a sloka in Bhagavad Gita, which was given by Lord Krishna. He said, the true, real education, any true education, it makes people humble. Humility, compassion, happiness, and all these beautiful qualities will come out through real education. Look at the world right now. Real education, all the education is, they become very proud and arrogant, and as if they know everything and all that. Once we reach to a professor and head of the department, really our head, there's so much of ego that can come up for people. So it's so important. Unless we are so humble, we never grow. We will stop our growth. There we are dead people. We stop our growth. It's so important to be humble. India is the country, the land of wisdom of rishis, yogis, masters here. So I always feel that this land has really given the true education system offered to the community. And what is the second question, Ganesh? You asked about.
So my question was, what is this art of learning?
Learning and teaching. Okay.
What is the guidance on how can we be good learners? Like, so you are saying, you are a facilitator or a teacher in that role, but you also absorb so much, you read so much. So what can you tell us about learning, particularly in this time where we have to learn from everything? The students are at home, and the learning is not the traditional learning. But I know that and the dolphins, and your learnings have always been from every aspect. So what does it take to be a good learner, and what are those skills that we can inculcate?
Yes, Ganesh. The first thing is in the learning process. Many of us, we carry the prior conditioning that we need to drop. To be a good learner, we have to unlearn many things. To be really a good student also, we need to come into the classroom with an empty mind. If you want to learn physics, botany, chemistry, meditation, spirituality, and or it could be healing method or something, we must come with an open mind. If we step into the classroom as if we know already, with some kind of prior knowledge, prior conceptions, prior misconceptions and all that, it interferes in the learning process. That's why we must have the beginner's mind. We say that in Zen, beginner's mind is essential for every student. And for me, on planet Earth, everyone is an eternal student. Even a yogi also is an eternal student. Even a Lord Krishna, he always is an eternal student. Even Mahashiva, Adishiva, that's why to be a learner, a sincere learner, we must always carry the beginner's mind. Every day I begin as if it's my fresh day. I'm born today morning. And night I am dead. I'm gone. Morning again, I'm born again. I am very fresh, as if I don't know anything. I enter into the day as completely as a blank paper. My mind is empty, and I'm ready to what I'm encountering today, as situation, as conversations, as maybe it is reading a news, it is going through a book. I am ready to take it up, ready to go take that wisdom. You know, wisdom is always when you go through this all the filters of your mind, and also you check it whether this information that I read in this book is helpful, useful, beneficial, and is it aligned to the truth. If it is truth that is expressed in the book, it immediately you feel joyful. It makes you free. It makes you experience certain things in you. It's a kind of aha moment that happens when you really read about in my day that way, Ganesh. That's why I can say that each one of us, we can think that as if it's our last day, as if we are beginning the day, as if we are born today. And this is the last day. Live that way. Every day is like a last day only. We can live intensely, we can learn intensely. If it is the last day, every single moment is a moment of joy and celebration. So a student is always in a moment of joy, in the present moment. If we are living in the past, if we are living in the future, what is future oriented? We are the student is missing the present moment. The learning happens only in the present moment. Most of the students, because they were given this prior conditioning of the future, you have to think about the future, you have to set your goals, you have to dream and always carry this future. They don't know how to live in this moment, how to be present in the classroom, how to be present to the teacher. when the teacher is teaching something in the classroom. So I say this is a very important thing for every learner. To be a learner, we have to be present. So I keep learning from my wife, Dr. Lakshmi. She's my guru. Apart from my first guru, Brahmashri Pitama Patriji, who taught me meditation, my second guru, Brahmashri Lakshmi, she taught me about the life. She will catch me if I am in the past or in the future, because I am not present with her. She can catch me. She gives me the immediately, now come on, my fellow, you focus on this moment. This moment you are not with me. Wife is the best teacher for every husband. If every husband can make the wife the best teacher, considers the best teacher, they learn about life and about how to stay in the moment. Because women are naturally spiritual beings. They're heart-oriented, and they can sense. They live in the moment. They live in the very practical world. They're not dreamers also. The world is very, very here itself, now and here. So it's so important. We need to learn from everything around us, because there are many teachers appear in our life. Sometimes we think only the positive teachers. Illness can be our teacher. Difficult relationship can be teacher. Or could be some accident that happened, could be teacher. Many things teaches us. When we are ready to learn, everything can be a teacher on the planet Earth. Even an ant can teach us if we are totally present in that moment. So we are talking apart from this conventional education system, how a student also can learn certain other things. But all the educationists, I must say that our foundation of this education system must be meditation. If the student is offered the tool of meditation, and also teacher also is not only a teacher of meditation, but also is a practitioner. Primarily, teacher also practices meditation, come into the classroom and teach meditation, is coming from their own practice. Then the students have strong foundation. This meditation must be the complete base for entire education system right now. Because very simple, meditation is not connected to any religion. It's not about religion. It's about being present, being mindful, being aware, and opening up. And we are also tapping into deeper intelligence. A student really has a very deep intelligence, but our education system is making them intellectuals, knowledgeable, information. Too much information is given, but there's no experience for a student. There's no practical experience. There's no intelligence. We are only, all the intellectuals are coming out from the schools and colleges and universities. They know only the theory part, but they're not happy. They can't be happy. They're not compassionate. They do not know about life itself. So that's why in the education system, for every student, I say that number one is meditation. The second thing is intelligence is more important than intellectual information. Information is okay, but give primary importance to the intelligence, cultivating the tapping into the intelligence of every student. Every child is born intelligent. Every child is creative, innovative, and those skills are completely dormant and completely disowned by the child. Because our education system is framed that way. We want people to work in the offices. The model is developed from the industrial revolution. In the industries, you are supposed to do this job. The job of a factory manager, you need to do only this. Don't do too intelligent. So that's why we want only robots to come out of the colleges and universities. But the new education system, what the spiritual science, the COVID-19 is also showing us the way now. It's shaking up the whole humanity. that now you need to have a new education system. We need intelligent people coming out, not the number one, number two people, but those who are intelligent. They don't need to score high marks, but they must be creative, intelligent. And a student must also find their own inner answers. A true teacher always encourages the child to find out their own answers. They don't give the information, they don't even give the solutions. Instead, they make them solve, they make them find the new ways. So I like this Socratic way of approaching education system, Socratic way, where questions are so important. And the teacher should not give the answers. The classroom is meant for questions only. And answers must be given by the students. The student will become the teacher there. The teacher is like a student learning from all the wonderful students. Because the new education system, it brings out the best of every student.
Yeah.
What is hidden in them. So the art of learning and art of teaching, both are important. For example, we always learn what we learn, we offer to others. We teach what we have learned. And in the art of teaching, the same principles, like you cannot teach what you have not experienced yet. Otherwise, it only becomes theory. That's why when Buddha told to all the Buddhist monks, now you need to spread my wisdom. You need to teach meditation to all people. All the monks complained that day, oh, how can we teach? We have not even gone to ABCD of meditation. You are saying to us to go to villages and teach. How can we teach? We have not experienced nirvana. We have not experienced anything. But he said, you can always say that I have learned these things from Buddha. I have yet to experience. I am a practitioner. I am offering this to you because it can be helpful. It has helped already so many people. So that's why a teacher can be honest, not at experience, but I'm saying it because it's already tested by many others. It could be about Thomas Alva Edison, could be certain things about scientific discoveries a science teacher is teaching, but they can say that, I don't know about these experiments, but I know that from the books that I have heard, Thomas Alva Edison invented this filament and all these discoveries made. So many times, if the teacher is honest, authentic, and also the teacher opening the heart center and teaching, not from the mind. I know from my experience when I was a child, I never learned anything from below 5 years age, below 5th standard. I not learned anything in the school because the teachers were very logical and they were, always carrying a stick with them. I was so fearful. They want me to mug up things, cram things, and I could not do it. And I rejected the complete school system at the time. They labeled me as retarded or some mental retardation or autism or something like that at the time. I was a slow learner. So I was in the back bench. They made me to sit because all the students, even the dull students, should not sit in the front benches. Only the topper ones, must be made sit in the front benches. But I say, this is like it forever, this feeling is, imprinted in the minds of the child. I carried this block in me that, oh, I'm inferior. I can never become an intelligent being. That blocked me for many years. But when I came to 6th standard, 7th standard, few teachers were very heart oriented. When they're teaching, they're like singing. It's not like a coaching, like a teacher serious and with a stick in the hand and very authoritative. But these teachers are like dancing teachers. One teacher used to teach us mathematics with dance. She's like going from here to seeing that itself is, I used to really learn so much. I developed interest in mathematics because this is the new approach. Art of teaching is teaching really from the heart, and art, being an artist also. Art means through dance and song, we can teach mathematics, we can teach science. Through poetry, we can teach some complex subjects, because a student at a very younger age, they are not like logical, mind-oriented. We should not make them really logical people at a very younger age. Logic must be developed as a consequence later on. The first primary basic foundation must be love, heart. The children must be taught, the students must be taught about love and art of living, art of happiness, art of compassion, art of being present in the moment. This is most important than, Albert Einstein and this and that history, World War, who killed who, and all that is nonsense. Because only logical information, they don't know in the later on life about love, how to be compassionate, how to serve. They don't know about these values. So it's so important if the teacher is teaching the client, the classroom, through the heart.
Yeah.
Many values, qualities can be actually shared with the students. The students learn from the teacher.
Thank you,
Ganesh.
Thank you, sir. I think before we go to meditation, I think it would be beautiful for everybody to practice with you today meditation. We can take maybe 2 questions. So one question is coming from Amit. Amit says, please ask Dr. Newton on how to overcome addictive habits like smoking.
Okay. Addictive habits like smoking.
How to overcome. Yeah.
Yes, Amitji, you can, whatever these tools that today we shared about meditation and awareness, it need to be practiced. Because when you are really becoming more mindful and aware, what is that impulse that you're getting to take the cigarette and smoke? You can catch that. What is that in you which is making you pick up the cigarette? Is it stress in you which is making you pick up the cigarette? Is it the relaxation that you're getting from that? Relaxation you want because your mind is too stressed? If you go deep into meditation, you'll realize that most of the times addictions have, the deep cause, a root cause is there in the subconscious mind. So you can find out sometimes our own stress that we are carrying that makes us, be addicted to alcohol and smoking. Most of the times it's the guilt. Guilt is the fertile ground for all the addictions. Shame and guilt and shame. And also stress. So you can meditate, you can begin that way, and you will definitely will be benefited from that. Because I know I have been a smoker before I came into meditation path, and I could completely understand what is making me smoke so many cigarettes, destroying my own lungs. Only temporarily I'm getting the pleasure of smoke, and mostly it is like heroism in the school that whoever are smoking in the movies I used to watch, Rajinikanth and some Bollywood and Tollywood stars, they will smoke the cigarettes, all the heroes. I used to mimic it. Later on, social gatherings, like men are great, men are superior, smoking is great. Later on, I realized that these are all concepts that I developed in the mind which are not true. One will not become a hero by smoking a cigarette. One will not become stress-free from smoking a cigarette. Temporarily, it looks like that, but know that if you can meditate, really you heal yourself. I could completely, that impulse, habit, addiction completely gone from me. I can say that from my own experience, Amitji. Thank you for the question.
We'll take 2 more questions, sir. And this one is from Dilnaz. She said, but isn't internet ultimately bad for the environment and nature? setting up the towers, etc., isn't really good, right? So we talked about remote learning and internet. So if you want to throw some light on this.
Yes, Dilnathji, yes, of course it is. The technology can be destroying the nature, but we have to find new ways, even the new ways where we can minimize this destruction. For example, people are already done some kind of research about 5G internet technology, which is going to be very destructive for the birds, for the animals, for the nature. But we can find new ways where still we can communicate, and technology must be used for the right purpose. It can only enhance our understanding and compassion, and where we are collectively growing together in the world. And definitely in the future times where we don't need to even have the internet, maybe we can communicate through our minds. Telepathy could become the reality where we are all connected through the souls and the heart. Then we don't need even the internet technology. But right now, we can use whatever ways that minimizing the destruction that we can do to the nature. Thank you for this question.
Thank you. And last question we'll take is from Manasi. Manasi says, should one try and set intentions to attracting things in life? If you do, then you are not accepting reality and are trying to change it. Should one work more towards accepting reality or changing it?
Okay. Manasi ji, first principle is acceptance of the current situation as it is. After you accept it, then go to the next stage of free will. You have the power of choice now. So far, whatever the thoughts that you carried created certain realities, you can now choose to have a very different reality, create a different reality. The power of choice, power of free will can be applied. First is the acceptance. So at that time, if we ignore that, resist the current situation, we may attract through using the law of attraction, but it won't be sustained in the future. We'll revert back to earlier states. Okay, so there's no problem. It's not going against the nature. Our true nature is embracing our creatorhood. We are creators of our reality. We are gods enclosed in the flesh bodies, each one of us. It means on the planet Earth, we can all really create our own reality, personal reality, and also create a beautiful co-creating a collective reality. Participate in the co-creator hood. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much for these answers. What we want to do is, we will practice, if we can do a meditation for about 15 or 20 minutes, and post that, what we would like to do is share a little bit about QLU and, about some of the work that you are doing. I also, for our entire audience, have listed down 7 years and 7 lessons from Dr. Newton. I know Dr. Newton for 7 years, and I share with you 7 lessons I learned from him in 7 years. So the teacher and the student in me, I always felt I wanted to research after meeting Dr. Newton about cloning technology. If I could clone myself and I just wanted to become Dr. Newton. I did not want to be Hrithik Roshan, Amitabh Bachchan. For me, the Amitabh Bachchan was, for me, the Buddha was Dr. Newton. And so I try every day. I have completely different voice, completely different, no hair, Dr. Newton, lot of hair. At least specs we are both wearing, that's a good sign. No beard, Dr. Newton. But I try to take the essential qualities, and there is so much, there is so much that we receive. So I would like to share those 7 years and 7 learnings that I have had from Dr. Newton with all of us, and also share about QLU and the work that we are trying to do. And I would invite all of our friends who have joined today to participate in the manifestation of Quantum Life University. So, sir, over to you for meditation. I will switch off my camera and we will all be meditating with you here.
Sure. And dear friends, today we are going to meditate. I'm going to play some music in the background. This practice is very simple and easy. You need to sit in a comfortable posture, like joining your 2 hands together, keeping it in your lap. If you are wearing your spectacles, you can remove them. And then you can lean back. If you are sitting in a chair, you can lean back comfortably. Then closing your eyes and bring your attention to your inhalation and exhalation, your in-breath and out-breath. This practice is called mindfulness of breathing. For the next 15 minutes, we'll be making friendship with our breathing. We just follow our normal, natural breathing. No need for deep breathing or shallow breathing. No need to change your breathing pattern. Just give your attention to your breathing. Notice your breath. Doing nothing. Let go all the tiredness and stress. Sitting in this comfortable posture, you can journey within. Even if the thoughts are coming in your mind, these routine thoughts, become aware of these routine habitual thoughts. Let them come and go. Bring your attention back to your breathing. Be fully present in this moment. Past and future are not relevant right now. Be present in this very moment. Let all the wanderings of the mind stop. Just becoming silent and still. Just observe the movement of the breath which is moving, going into the nostrils, the breath which is coming out of your nostrils. Meditation is the journey from the outer to the inner. It's the journey from the darkness to the light. Journey from the fear to the strength. Meditation is the journey from the gross to the subtle, to the subtler states, to the subtlest state. Meditation is shifting yourself from the doing state to the being state. Be still, just be. Embrace this silence that is growing in you. Embrace this silence fully. In this deep silence, reach to the place within you where there is no time, no space, where you experience unlimited self of you. Time exists only in the outer world. Time dissolves the moment you step into your own inner world, the world within you. The consciousness resides in a non-linear, non-local way. Just be still. Beyond time and space, beyond body and mind, nothing to think about, no past, no future, no stories, no contemplations, just an empty mind. And awareness of what is happening in you when you are completely becoming empty. Empty of the thoughts, empty of all the emotional energies, empty of all the stress, empty of all the tensions of life, becoming empty of all those fears, even at one point in this great silence, stillness, become totally empty of all the ego of you. Meditation is the inner journey towards your own divine essence. Your own real self, the self who is observing everything, become aware of the awareness itself. Another 3 minutes, dear friends. Just be. last 2 minutes, this deep stillness from your own inner experience of what you are experiencing, allow deeper insights to arise from within. These last 2 minutes is collecting all the insights from your own inner being. Last 1 minute, my dear friends. Okay, my dear friends, whenever you are ready, you may rub your palms and place them on your eyes. For a few seconds, you can touch your eyelids. Then slowly, you may open your eyes. Take your own time. Wonderful, friends. Wonderful.
Thank you, Dr. Newton.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Beautiful. I want to share a little bit about QLU, Quantum Life University. Dr. Newton has chosen to share his wisdom regularly along with Dr. Lakshmi, who is, they are our most loved masters. And I would encourage all the friends that are attending today on the AHA channels, as well as on the QLU channels, to regularly follow. If you would like more information, you can enroll for the Soul Coach training program, which is a 1-year program with 2 semesters, 10 days each. It is a free program, including food and accommodation. Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi's vision is, in a few years' time, to have Quantum Life University be a completely free university. At this moment, we need lots of support from friends to build Quantum Life University. So if you resonate with this work, you can look at, you can visit the campus whenever the conditions are safe to visit post-COVID. I would also encourage you to attend some of Dr. Newton's workshops. The one that I first attended was the Inner Child workshop. Dr. Newton is, one of the lessons he taught us was that don't just believe anything. You must do your own experiment. You must learn and be a scientist, not just be a follower. So Dr. Newton's work There is a significant element of research. He has done years and years of research. His name itself is that of Newton, comes from scientist because his father told him not to believe without experimentation. So Quantum Life University is not just about believing, it is about or praying. You learn also the science behind things. And so past life regression, inner child healing work, rebirthing breath work, life between lives, family constellation and transgenerational healing. There is a lot of modalities that are used to really make this self-transformation happen for all of us. So friends, please look at Quantum Life University's website. There is also a video on the YouTube channel where you can see what has been envisioned. And please come forward and support QLU in every way possible. The numbers and the website details are here. Next episode of the AHA conversation will be with Dr. Divya Chhabra, and the topic is Unleash Your Potential and Immunity. And we would like to invite you on the 26th of June at 5 p.m. Please join us for that. And I would also request you to please keep following the channel on AHA. The last bit of AHA, and like, of course, our channel and our videos, the last bit I want to share with you are those learnings that I shared. 7 learnings from Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi. Dr. Lakshmi is the most amazing master you can meet as well. She began this AHA conversation series. She was the first one, and that recording is already been watched by hundreds, and we are getting a lot of reviews. Dr. Lakshmi spoke about the sacred feminine, and it's one of the most beautiful conversations that she had with Dr. Preeti, who is also my teacher, who pulled me, dragged me, beat me onto this path. But I'm so happy now that she brought me here, because stubborn husband I was, listening always 3-4 years late to whatever the wife says. First with meditation and then with Dr. Newton also. 2009 she told me come. I went in 2013. 4 years. Please don't waste these 3-4 years. Please begin pursuing this journey. So I am sharing the 7 lessons that I had. Number 1, follow the middle path. I often oscillated between the extremes, happiness and sadness, work and relaxation, physicality and spirituality. I was taught by these great masters, middle path, follow the middle path. Second part, they said there is no separation between spirituality and physicality. This is something that was shared also today. Very powerful lesson, that we don't need to be mean in business and don't need to be kind in service. Business itself can be service, and we can manifest service through our work. Whether we are teachers, we are entrepreneurs, we are professionals, whether we are accountants or lawyers, we can still practice the same compassion, the same awareness, the same consciousness. So that was the second one. First one, middle path. Second one, no separation. Third one was, everything is a mirror. Bring the focus onto yourself. They taught me that whenever the finger is pointing outside, there are 3 fingers pointing towards yourself. And so my whole focus went from outside to inside. And that is what changed the outside. So they said, everything is a mirror, focus on the inside, and then everything outside will change. The next lesson was humility and authenticity. And humility, I'm a stubborn student. Slowly I'm learning. I have to still keep chopping my ego every day, but it's coming slowly. But humility and authenticity, being completely authentic in every moment. And just we are so inspired by Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi to constantly be that that our teachers have taught. The fifth lesson was spirituality is not a serious business, friends. This meditation business is not a punishment. You have to be tortured for 1 hour every day. You have to sit in one corner. You have to close your eyes. And instead, you could have gone and eaten a pizza or done a party. What is this extreme torturous exercise? Not at all. Spirituality is not serious business. It is joyful, and you can see it from my face. I am not at all bogged down, and every day I'm meditating. But I can tell you that you can see from Dr. Newton's face so much joy. Same with Dr. Lakshmi, all the meditators. And then the sixth lesson was what we also learned today. Focus on who you are being, not what you are doing, not just what you are doing. So we also learned focus on being, not just what we are doing. And the last and the most profound lesson that Dr. Newton has taught is you are your own guru. That you are a master, your breath is your master, that you must not become dependent to an extent that, you cannot just, he encouraged us to explore, learn from every teacher. I first got exposed to Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, many masters, thanks to Dr. Newton. Because unlike all other teachers that I had experienced in BN, which is before Newton, this was the first time I was told, learn from everywhere, drink from everywhere. You are not limited, and you are your own master. So you are your own guru was a very beautiful lesson. And we have been able to learn so much thanks to the wisdom and the guidance that we got. So with those 7 lessons, on behalf of all of us, I want to bow. Thank you so much, Dr. Newton, for giving us so much love and wisdom today. I hope you enjoyed the AHA conversation also. And I hope to welcome you back. This time, Dr. Preeti will interview you, and I will interview Dr. Lakshmi whenever we come back. And we look forward, maybe in a few months, to have you back on an AHA conversation. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, Ganesh. Sure. It's very touching to hear about the 7 lessons that you learned. And those 7 lessons you have not learned, Ganesh, you remembered them. It's there in you. Only thing is, we are just a kind of excuse. We just, our meeting, and sometimes we learn, we remember things. You remembered from your own consciousness. Thank you so much for this beautiful, I enjoyed very much conversation with you, Ganesh. We will be happy to come back again. Thank you. Thank you, dear friends, for being there with us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.